Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello everyone and welcome to your English class. In our lesson today, we will continue with the introduction part, which is going over the previous semester's content. Okay, let's go over what we have taken in the previous semester. English 1, the first part of English 1. We have had 4 units or 4 modules. The titles were, the first unit was about big changes. We've talked about changes that happened in the past and their effects today. We've also talked about, or the second unit was about careers, your future jobs, some unusual and interesting jobs. The third unit was titled, What Will Be, Will Be. And from the title we can know that it was about the future predictions, what might happen, and these things. And the last unit, the fourth unit, was titled The Art of Advertising. It is about advertising, promoting items, and selling them. In our lesson today, we will go over and revise the last 2 units, which are What Will Be, and the fourth unit, which is titled The Art of Advertising. Ready? Let's start with the first one. Or we will start with your homework. You had a homework which was this picture. I want you to speak about it, to write 2 sentences, 2 to 3 sentences. What do you have as a reflection or a comment about it? At the beginning, let's try to describe it. What do we have in here? We're having here 3 men or 3 people. They look like as if they were coming from the Stone Age, very old people. 2 of them, the 2 on the right here, they are trying to move a cart or a box, moving it from one place to the other. Look at it. It is full of rocks, things that are heavy. And the third man in here is trying to offer them something which is round. What do we call this one? It is actually the wheel. It is a wheel. It symbolizes actually, this is the idea of change. They are using a square wheel. It's not actually a wheel, it's square, which makes their job harder. However, he is trying to make their job easier and trying to offer them something that will make their job easy, which is the wheel. However, they are not responding. What do they say? We are too busy. No thanks. Don't make us more busy. It symbolizes actually the idea of change. Change is not always easy and it might take some of your time. However, it's a good idea just to take some time to think about these changes and their future effect. Will it be positive or negative? Okay, let's go ahead in here and start with the third unit. The third unit was titled, if you still remember, What Will Be, Will Be. Can you remember or think about anything that is related, any word that is related to the idea of what will be, will be? I've thought about these ideas. I've thought about the idea of future. What will happen in the future? I've thought about something that is new. Something will happen, maybe it could be a change. I've thought about Vision 2030. Vision 2030 is preparing us for the future. I've thought about a time capsule. Do you still remember the idea of a time capsule? Which is, you are going to collect certain things and send them to the future by hiding them, and future you is going to check it. And also predictions. Predictions is like guessing what might happen in the future. What might be your future job 30 years from today? Where can you see yourself? And the idea of plans, things that you are working on today and the result in the future. Let's take this unit one by one. At the beginning in here, making predictions about the future. I will show you certain items and I want you to think about them in the future. How would they look like 10 years from today, 50 years from today. Let's speak at the beginning about computers. How would you see computers 50, let's say 100 years later? We will say, I believe that computers in the past and the future are going to be faster. I believe they will be very smaller. And I think maybe we are not going to use computers, we will use mobile phones instead. Do you think so? Do you have any other ideas? Anything that is about the future of computers will be all okay. How about cars? What do you think? Let's say 50 years from today. Are we going to have cars? I believe, for me, that in the future we are going to use cars. We will still have cars. However, future cars will be safer. No accidents, no car accidents in the future. In the future, cars will fly. Do you think so? How about, let's speak about learning, education. How do you think people, or let's say students, are going to learn or educate in the future? Let's say 50 years from today. Are people going to study online, just online, or we will have schools? For me, I think that students will need to go to schools. However, we will have more technology involved in the idea of education. You can think about anything that we're having today, TV, your mobile phone, and predict its future. How about people? What about you? What do you think about yourself in the future? I might be older, you might say. Or I will be a successful person. Let's look into this. Is my friend, and we want to talk about her future. Let's try to predict. This is her today. Let's speak about 20 years later. 20 years later, my friend will be successful in the future. I think that my friend will be a successful person in the future. Also, I think that we are going to be best friends in the future. I am sure we are going to be best friends. We will still be friends. Also, I think she's going to be a famous artist. She's an artist today, and in the future she's going to be famous. Also, she won't have time to go out because she's famous and she is also an artist. She will not have enough time to go out. But I am definite that we are going to be friends together. How about your friends? Or choose a friend and try to predict his or her future. How will he or she look like in the future? Okay, how can we express the future? If you want to express the future, we have taken many expressions to speak about the future. Two of them are will and going to. Well, we use well if the sentence is an offer. If you are trying to offer something to someone, it's a polite way to offer, to give something. Like when I say, we don't have any milk, and you will tell me, I will get you some. I will do it for you. I will help you. You use well if you are offering something, help or a favor. Also, uncertainty. It is the opposite of certainty. I'm not sure. Maybe. I think. You're not 100% sure. So you will say, maybe I will arrive early. It's very crowded. I will try my best. Maybe I will arrive early. Also, if you are trying to give a promise or make a promise, you will tell, I promise, I will help. When you are trying to promise something will happen in the future, use will. So, will we use it if you are less certain, not so sure about something. However, be going to, you use it if you are having a plan. I got the tickets, I am going to travel. I'm much more sure. We are going to spend a holiday in Abha. We have our own plan. We're going to go from this time until that time. These are the tickets. When you are certainty, I am sure that this thing is going to happen. Not maybe, sure. So we will say, I am sure we are going to have fun. If you are sure about something, definite, so just use going to. Okay, let's try to do this exercise. What would you do in each case? Let's read the sentences and you will tell me, are you going to do this thing or will you do it? You have arranged to see your dentist at 5 p.m. At 5 p.m. Are you going to see a dentist or will see a dentist? So I am going to see a dentist at 5 p.m. Why? This is actually a plan. I've got a timing. Also, you want to invite your friends over, but you are not certain. Maybe. I'm not sure. You will say, I will invite my friends over. Hopefully they will come. How about here? You have a class in 2 hours. It is 10 a.m. now. So, speaking about the future, I am going to have a class in 2 hours. So in 2 hours, I am going to have a class because it's in the future and it is actually something that I'm certain about. Okay? These they are. How about the future progressive? Let's speak about it in 2 words. Future, will or going to. Progressive, we will use. Progressive is ing. Whenever you hear progressive, just use the ing. So here we have a situation. Read the situation and write a sentence or the sentences about the future. Let's read the situation together. You have arranged to spend a week in London and a week in Scotland. So it is a plan. Your flight is leaving tomorrow at 5 p.m. It is 6 p.m. now. So how are we going to speak about it? We are going to here this time tomorrow. So at this very specific time tomorrow, you will say, I will be flying to London. Now it is 6 p.m. Your flight is at 5. So I will be flying to London during the action. Also, a week from today, next week, a week from today, I will be driving to Scotland. So after 1 week, I will be driving. We're having actually a very specific time to speak about the future progressive. Okay. How about another way to express the future? We have said that you can express the future using will, you can use going to, and you can use the future progressive, which is will or be going to doing. Okay? And we can also express it using a present tense. If you still remember the present tense, it consists of 2 parts, of 2 types, the present simple, if it is a routine, something we do it every day, or it is a fact. The sun rises every day, or from the east. However, for the progressive, something is happening now, at the moment, or temporary situation, just for today, just this year, a limited time. And the new situation that you can use the progressive, the present progressive for, when it is a future plan, in the near future. Like, you will say, I am studying tomorrow. Notice, this is the present progressive. Present, and we're having a progressive, no will or be going to. However, we are using tomorrow, which is the future. Also, he's flying tonight. Present, progressive, tonight, not now, maybe 2 hours later, maybe 10 hours later. And the new cars are coming next year. Next year is the future, and are doing or are coming. So we can express the future using the present progressive tense. Now let's try to use the present progressive, which is he is taking biology at 10. Now here we want to change it into a question. Let's do this one together. He is taking biology at 10. How can you change it into a question? As easy as you will change the inversion, you will change the order. We have an is here, so as easy as start with is with the is. Is he taking biology at 10? What do you think? According to the sentence, we will say, yes, he is taking biology as 10. Now I want to ask this question about the time at 10. Which WH question word are you going to use? Are you going to use who, how, what, where? Which WH question word is the most suitable? We can use when, because this one is a time, so you can use when. And always use the WH question word at the beginning of the question. You can't put it at the end. So here, when is he taking biology at 10? This is actually the answer. You don't know it, so take it out. It will be, when is he taking biology? When? At 10. He's taking biology at 10. One more. Let's try to do one more. He is taking biology at 10 as well. Let's form a yes/no question. You will start with the verb to be. Is he taking biology at 10? Now, we will ask the question about biology. Which WH question word are you going to use in here? Who, how, what, where, or when? You will use what. Okay, here you will use what because it is something, like a name or maybe a book. It's a subject. Then take out biology because it is actually the answer. So what is he taking at 10? What he is taking at 10, the answer is biology. Biology is the what. Okay, now then the idea of making and responding to a suggestion. What is the idea of suggestion? Maybe someone who needs help or need advice and you will give them your suggestion. It's not like you should do, it is about giving them a proposal. Let's look at this person here. What's wrong with this person? I believe he's too busy, too stressed, too many things to do. Homeworks, assignments, quizzes, maybe he's having work to do and other things. What advice, or let's say what suggestion would you give them? I will tell, take a break. Would you tell them, take a nap? You can say, take a cup of tea or go for a walk. Now, how are you going to give your suggestions? We have agreed that you can do it in 3 ways. The first one, you can say let's take a break. This is actually a sentence. Let's take a break. Also, you can say, how about taking a break? Not take, how about taking a break? And he or she will say, yes, that's a good idea, or no, I don't have time. Notice, it's a question in here. This one is a sentence. Or you can say, why don't we take a break? Why don't we take a break? And the person can say yes, and they can say no. He can say, that sounds great. Yes, I will do it. Or you will say, I don't think I can. It's not a good idea. Okay. Then the 4th unit was titled The Art of Advertising. Can you remember any of the topics we've covered together? And here we've talked about products, things that are for selling and you want to buy them. Ads, advertisements can be called ads. Also, the idea of skills. The idea of advertising is actually a skill. Payment, how are you going to pay? Cash, credit. The idea of gadgets. We're having inventions and gadgets. Commercials, which is another word for advertising. And we're having the idea of selling things. We are trying to promote things for the idea of selling them. When you are trying to advertise something, one of the main things that you're doing, you are comparing your item with other items or with similar ones. So we use the comparative form. For the comparative, we're having two types of adjectives, whether they are short adjectives like safe. It has one syllable, safe, one click. If you want to use it for comparison, you will say safe, safer than. You will add an ER or an R, an ER than for comparison. Like, this pen is safer than any other pen for children. Safe, it's not only safe, safer. This one is safe and yours is not safe. Or sometimes the adjectives are long. If you are having a long adjective, like attractive, long one, attractive. So you can use more attractive than, less attractive than. So the white pen is more attractive than the black pen. Let's try to do this exercise. We're comparing ice cream and water. Water is than ice cream. What can you tell about it? We can tell that it is healthy. Healthy is a short adjective. Healthier than ice cream. However, ice cream is, we can say, refreshing, which is a long adjective, more refreshing than water, according to the speaker. How about the superlative? Superlative comparing one to every other one. Again, we'll come with the idea of short adjectives, like when we're saying cheap, short adjective. So we will say the cheapest. My pen is the cheapest of its kind. How about if it were long, like comfortable? We would say the most or the least comfortable. This pen is the most comfortable pen. Okay. For your homework, I want you to go over the 4 units that we have covered so far in the previous semester and try to reflect. Which one is your favorite? The things that you have liked the most and things that you still remember and you believe that you want to reflect and relate to that, to this or that information. Okay? I guess that is it for the lesson today, and thank you so much for your time.